High-speed criminal pursuits can quickly turn from dramatic to terrifying as suspects disregard the law and put the lives of innocent bystanders at risk. These dangerous pursuits often reach speeds of over 100 km/h, weaving through traffic and running red lights. Check out some of the most terrifying chases caught on Dashcam. On August 23, 2024, Jamie Lizarzaburu was stopped by a Kaysville police officer after nearly causing a fatal accident. According to police reports, the incident began when Jamie suddenly accelerated and fled the scene after being asked to stop for a traffic check. So instead of complying, she decided to flee, sparking a tense chase that spanned Davis County. So the pursuit did not stop in Kaysville, but also involved multiple law enforcement agencies to control the situation. The coordination between police units created a complex operation in an effort to stop Jamie's dangerous behavior and protect the safety of other road users. The incident quickly gained attention due to the daring and recklessness of the driver throughout the pursuit. Truck stop. Yeah, the cherry ass. Me. Okay, stall here. He did 28 hours anymore copying that last traffic. You telling me let it down, type. Coffee wanted them quite what your locations. First I found the point you area just prior to that. Coffee. The outbound just prior to part 110 point. Does anybody have the freeway closed down prior to breakfast? By the 50. Is that even with the key? You better get quiet to it. US 28 tonight. In a breathtaking chase, when the police were closely following a getaway car on tense roads, the chase seemed to have come to an end when the authorities finally stopped the car. A siren blared, the red and blue lights twinkled in the night sky. The police slowly approached, preparing to execute justice. But then, in just a moment of carelessness when the officers got out of the car, the getaway car suddenly restarted, suddenly sped away like a ghost, leaving everyone behind in amazement. It was not just a normal escape, but a daring challenge, a dangerous game with the law. What are you shooting? It's not. Can you have camera? Tell them the pretty girl. Hey, there's a bit down there. It's not a good fight. Got the front tire. In the pursuit of Jamie Lizarzaburu was intense and spanned several areas. Although officers attempted to use the precision immobilization technique to stop her vehicle several times, initial attempts is successful. The Lizarzaburu continued to drive dangerously, weaving through the streets, endangering many surrounding vehicles. In response, police were forced to deploy spike strips on the road, causing her tires to deflate, slowing her down. Happy Creek or 9 on tried it. When Lizarzaburu's car finally slowed down, the officers successfully performed a pit maneuver, causing her car to lose control and come to a complete stop. On October 20th, 2022, the U.S. Marshals Service issued a warrant for the arrest of a murder suspect from Indiana. Agents received information that the suspect was located on Enbogan Road in Gwinnett County, Georgia. Agents responded to the residence to confirm the information received. While agents were conducting surveillance, they observed the suspect leave the residence and get into a 2022 Dodge Ram. Agents followed the suspect as he left the residence and began traveling westbound on Gate 20. What? Other on the cold weekend. On a free day. Get up, go out. I gotta get him stopped. Oh, I'm here. I'll get another bit. I'll feed you. I thought his car would be caught by the police, but it slipped past like a slippery fish, escaping as if nothing had happened. Henry Baylor Connect. Big how then had he made that time. The chase took place in a tense atmosphere. Robertson drove the car with breathtaking recklessness, making crazy and dangerous turns that made everyone hold their breath, watching as if every turn could lead to disaster. On that jump after call for median. Well, they will hop up in there. Hold on, Hans, boy, I'm sorry. He repeatedly drove into the opposite lane regardless of the danger, causing other drivers to panic and have to swerve to avoid catastrophic collisions that could happen at any time. You turn around down the road, Mark Full. Then behind you, Roddy. It's a motorcycle. Temples Road, Mountain Abroad, Temples Road. Temple. So the intense pursuit continued to the intersection where he attempted to recklessly overtake but failed, so as his vehicle slammed into another vehicle traveling south on Samples Road. With no control, he opened his door and fled. He crossed the median and drove over a hill toward a parking lot. However, agents quickly pursued and subdued him, holding the suspect until the U.S. Marshals arrived to take over. The pursuit resulted in extensive damage, while prosecuted to the end. On January 19, 2023, Police Cadet C, New Zealand police officer were patrolling the area of Gay 17 and Gay 204. While on patrol, they heard a police officer from the Troup County Police Department attempt to stop a vehicle, but instead of stopping, the vehicle accelerated southbound toward them. Officer Arcentoro was contacted shortly thereafter and explained that he was attempting to stop a white Nissan Morano with a broken rear window and Georgia license plates on Canterbury Road. Cadet Nusal and the police officer spotted the Nissan traveling northbound on Gay 25 before turning onto Gay 204 eastbound. As the police vehicle activated its blue lights and sirens and pitted, Cadet Nusal reported to Troop F Communications that he was attempting to stop the vehicle that was fleeing Officer Santoro. So, however, the Nissan ignored its lights and sirens, are halting a pursuit. Okay, it's a fork is actually your primary tank. Come on, let's let it go for a second. We want to get a little bit more speed before we try and fit this thing. Yeah. Don't try to fit it. Itching out on port. I know we're safe there in the side. For him, yeah, it's headed. So we get behind them. Look here, for him, bring how we AE. For you, the very good night dreamer. Yeah, you go, yeah, yes. Look good now. Hold on, stop, hold on. Though you have to go with the side, we should be outside. We're setting up the table. 204, he's gone. With hit. Hit him. We go busy. They'll start on us up spot. Henrik. Yeah, no. In the middle of the road. As the pursuit approached I-95, the situation became extremely tense with heavy pedestrian traffic and heavy traffic. Concerns for the safety of those around them increased, making it all the more urgent to stop the fleeing vehicle. In a situation where conventional stopping techniques were not possible, the decision to instruct student Nusal to perform AP was a necessary action to end the danger. With precise control, Newsall succeeded in causing the Nissan to lose control, hit the median and roll over several times. The tragic end of the incident was when the driver, who was not wearing a seatbelt, was ejected from the vehicle and left lying motionless in the left lane of GA 204. Following the accident, Troup F Communications was immediately notified along with a request for medical and fire assistance, so the driver was quickly identified as Amy Yeomans Paget. Although Ms. Paget had a pulse and was breathing, the decision was made not to move her at the scene to avoid further aggravation due to the severity of her injuries, so medical personnel quickly arrived and transported her to the hospital. Unfortunately, Ms. Paget's injuries were too severe and she died, so the case was then, but the suspect was eventually apprehended. Help. As police were checking the driver of a dark-colored Silverado, license plate Ed Frank Tom 4299 at 6 Davidson and Prosky Streets, a loud gunshot rang out in the distance. The suspect was driving a white car and was speeding down Y Street, heading towards 7524. Immediately, police quickly took action, starting a thrilling chase to capture the criminal. Okay, good. White people, focus, say, take it again. The young, yep. Trip, Boca, Italian Street, Little One. Italian Troup, and we're free time. The suspect suddenly accelerated, driving at a crazy speed, disregarding the danger on the crowded road, leaving everyone around shocked by his recklessness. Things, see if you can count. The chase quickly turned to Highway 96 from Livernois, raising the tension to a fever pitch. The cars were speeding, reaching speeds of 120 miles per hour, making the atmosphere tense and suffocating, every second leading to a dramatic collision. Call the top for you. Coming up to Joy Road. Sorry, the right here, going to be through Illinois. Fine, Joy Road, Doy Foul. Cody, come on, friend, going to mount. Close up in front, I'm going front. Slap, down. We got to take it right now at Grand River. Pretty fast, play. Fire. Driver. The car sped toward Main Street, not slowing down for a red light, and the left rear tire was deflated. As the suspect turned into a residential area, the speed dropped to about 45 mph, and the car continued to roll through West Chicago and Oak. As it approached Joy Street, the front tire also went flat, and the police officers quickly performed a PIP. Immediately after successfully performing the PIP, the suspect got out of the car and quickly fled, but the police officers immediately gave chase, ordered the suspect to stop, and quickly arrested him. Are they going to chase another one? Get up. It's so footed out tonight, huh? It keeps doesn't need to mention. So that's what about people to square the rotation. After successfully arresting the suspect, the police officers returned to the car to conduct a thorough search. During the search, they discovered a hidden gun under the back seat of the car. This discovery added to the seriousness of the case, as the weapon could be related to other crimes committed by the suspect. The police carefully seized the gun and continued to check every corner of the car, looking for more evidence that could help clarify the case. Every detail from the glove box to the trunk was carefully checked to ensure that no clues were missed. This inspection process is very important in consolidating evidence, serving the investigation and trial process later, ensuring that the criminals are turned over to the coroner's office for further investigation. On the afternoon of June 8, 2021, at approximately 4:06 p.m., East Feekmore was filling up. An emergency dispatch was issued from the Troup Communications Center. A request for assistance from Troup County for a dangerous pursuit was sent to multiple units. According to the dispatch, Troup County Sheriff's deputies were pursuing the black BIM traveling southbound. on I-185 near milepost 40 at a high rate of speed. As the pursuit approached mile marker 14 on I-185, Troup County Sheriff's deputies closed in on Mr. Caldwell as traffic ahead became heavy, so this made it impossible to lead the pursuit. Mr. Caldwell continued to drive at a high rate of speed, posing a serious danger to other drivers on the road. Near mile marker 12, a light rain began and quickly turned into a heavy downpour, worsening road conditions. Despite this, Mr. Caldwell did not slow down, continuing to exceed the posted speed limit, while the sheriff's deputies were unable to perform a pit stop in these inclement conditions. At approximately mile marker 10, Mr. Caldwell was traveling in the left lane while Troup County deputies yielded to the central lane, allowing the pursuit to continue. And while in the lead, Caldwell suddenly accelerated to 115 m, 185 km, weaving in and out of traffic and nearly causing a collision. The water spray from his vehicle reduced visibility, but the pursuit continued. Although there was an opportunity to perform a pit, the decision was not made due to unsafe traffic conditions. So, however, a reasonable gap then appeared, and a pit attempt was made, which was unsuccessful due to Mr. Caldwell's hard braking and traction control. There, my anti-have yet. Well, you're right now, and then figure out, under we have. Right, clear. Well, you're make high. 50, figure out where I can't, what I can't have that 50. Set up. There, 1050, I can ride one it, for how vehicle. That fired. Go in. The pursuit became more dramatic when Mr. Caldwell abruptly returned right off I-185 at Macon Road at a high rate of speed. Near the bottom of the exit ramp, the planned pit was interrupted when Mr. Caldwell crossed the concrete median and collided with a vehicle in opposite lane. So the situation escalated when Mr. Caldwell did not attempt to flee, but instead bent down to look for anything unusual in the vehicle. So after a few seconds, he sat up, held a gun in his hand, and pointed it at the officers. Immediately, the officers were forced to act, returning fire in an effort to protect themselves and those around them. So in a dangerous situation, the constant movement to avoid being targeted created a tense confrontation, and the use of force was inevitable to stop the threat posed by Mr. Caldwell. After Mr. Caldwell was shot and no longer pointing the gun, officers approached, pulled him from the car, and performed first aid. His gun was secured under close guard, and Mr. Caldwell was taken to Midtown Hospital by Muskogee EMS. All units are